All right, so today I'm going to be breaking down Matt Gray's $1 million plus per month organic sales funnel. And yeah, you heard that right. This is a fully organic sales funnel. He does not use paid ads at all. And that's all thanks to his 3-step creator arm framework. Now, this 3-step creator arm framework goes like this. So there's attention, the A, relationship, the R, and then monetization at the bottom. Here in this small little PDF, he has definitely explained a little bit what the ARM framework is, but he has not gone into detail, and that's what this video is. I'm going to go into full detail on exactly how his social medias are structured to get maximum conversions, how to get more traffic, how to nurture his audience, and how he actually generates interested leads and then finally converts them at the end with his sales call. So then you can get actionable steps to actually implement into your business and skyrocket your growth in your coaching or consulting offer. So let's get into that right now and start off with his TikTok. Now on his TikTok, he has 150,000 followers and he mostly makes top of funnel content. And if you don't know and haven't watched any of my videos before, the best use case for TikTok is to generate brand new traffic. This is going to go straight into your other social medias, including your Instagram and your YouTube later. And the thing that Matt Gray is doing right now is not really focusing on his TikTok. He's mostly just reposting stuff from his Instagram onto his TikTok. That definitely does work, but TikTok has a few more requirements that are different from Instagram. So I'm assuming he's going to later on start testing better content and start to actually grow his TikTok. For now, it's not a very big player in his actual sales funnel. So then let's just get into his Instagram, where he has 937,000 followers. In the description, proven systems to grow a profitable audience with content. All right, I can understand exactly what he does just from that. Super nice description. Founder and CEO of Founder OS. DM scale for more info. That is a quick CTA. And then he links his newsletter right here, just to turn his Instagram audience into his actual owned audience, meaning his email list. Now, the moment you get onto his Instagram, you can definitely tell he's getting way more views here. 10 million, 5 million, 7,000, 23,000, 21,000, 17,000, a ton more views than on TikTok. That's just because generally right now he's not focused on his TikTok and definitely has optimized his content for Instagram mainly. Now, what the main goal of this Instagram is to build a little bit of authority, is to nurture the audience, and also just generally act as a traffic driver. Now, the Instagram is really good for building a genuine connection with your audience and also educating them, and especially with conversions. Now, the main type of content that he posts to accomplish these goals on his Instagram are these kind of animation style videos where he'll do a voiceover with an animation in the background. The second type of video he does is more B-roll type of videos where there is going to be a ton of captions. There's going to be a few videos that are going to be playing in the background, and of course are just going to be generally motivational, or sometimes they'll provide a little bit of value. And then lastly are the talking head type of videos, and these aren't even fully talking head types of videos. Here he's going to add in a little bit of a B-roll over him actually talking to the camera, and every once in a while it'll move to his face. I'd actually love for Matt to do more talking head videos, because talking head videos like this one are the best type of content that you can create to get engagement and nurture your audience and get them to know and like you. So again, we're trying to provide a ton of genuine value through our social medias, and especially is true with Instagram. But at this point, they usually don't really want to buy from you yet because they don't trust you enough. So there's a few places that the Instagram can go. From the Instagram, usually people are going to go to the long form platform of YouTube. They might go to the X or the LinkedIn, but that is much less likely because usually the audience goes from short form content on Instagram to YouTube, and then after YouTube, they'll go to his text-based platforms like X or LinkedIn. And it's also really important to note, from his LinkedIn, he has a huge audience. So this audience is actually also being attracted into his funnel going this way as well. So a ton of people are coming from his LinkedIn into his Instagram. But again, the Instagram is going to be later used for conversions. They're either going to be nurtured through the long form videos here, or they're going to start trusting Matt through the text form content over on his LinkedIn or Twitter. Now, getting into his YouTube, you can see that he has 155,000 followers, and he stayed super consistent with posting videos at 873 long form videos, and really props to him for that. Now, we're definitely trying to get brand new audiences into our funnel through our YouTube, but the main goal here is to nurture the audience and also get them to finally be ready to buy or trust you enough to at least buy, so that you can later give them a call to action on your Instagram or your other short form content platforms where you can actually DM them and interact with the audience, and that's usually where they'll be converted. Matt posts super consistently, of course, as I said before. And in those posts, he posts top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. Now, a good split that you can work on with your content is to go for a 40% top of funnel approach, 30% middle of funnel approach, and then 20% bottom of funnel. Now, after the audience thinks that Matt has a little bit of authority, he's an authority in the space, they trust him, and they are also kind of ready to buy from him, or at least give him their email, he's going to go ahead and put these links in the description of his YouTube channel. Now, the thesis, I assume that this is a little bit of a free training, though it is pretty ambiguous on what it actually is. It might actually be the Founder OS. Then there's the newsletter, the Founder OS Plus. Then there's the X, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Now down here, as you can again see that there's the X, LinkedIn, and Instagram. All of these platforms allow for DMs, and DMs are hands down the best way to convert your audience. What's going to happen is that they're going to go to one of these platforms, and I'm going to be breaking down these two platforms in a little bit. But what's going to happen is that they're going to go to those platforms, read a few of his messages, read a few of his text form content, or watch a few of his reels. Then they're going to DM him through a CTA. They're going to get a lead magnet. They're going to, first of all, give him their email, and then afterwards, eventually get booked into a call. Now, after his YouTube, they're going to have 3 paths to take. Now, maybe they're already completely ready to buy and they don't need to be pushed over the edge. In that case, they're going to move on to his lead magnets or over to his websites. The more likely option is that they're still not completely ready to buy. Some people like to consume mindless reels, in which case they're going to go back to Instagram, and some people like to consume text content. Now, this is just going to be up to their preference. They're either going to go to his LinkedIn or they're going to go to his X. And this is where Matt really shines. He's like the Iman Gaji of LinkedIn. He is really good at text-based content. He's really good at copywriting and getting people to buy through this text-based content. But first of all, we're going to get into his X. Now, on his X, you can see in his description, the systems guy. Now, he's just identifying himself as the systems guy. He has a label now, and everybody can remember him as that. Proven systems to grow a profitable audience with content. Founder and CEO of Founder OS. And now, as you can see on the pinned comment, I'm 34. Here's 24 lessons I wish I knew at 20. What this little page is doing is it's going to list a ton of problems. It's like a text-based VSL. It's going to list a ton of problems that the audience usually has. So maybe there's brain fog, thinking isn't clear, they want control, they want to know how to grow their online brand, and just these general problems that they have. He's going to address those problems, and then he's going to give specific solutions. And most of these solutions are going to rely on systems. As you can see here, a ton of them are going to lead straight back to systems, to make the audience feel like systems is the only way to get the life that they want. Now, getting into his other tweets, they're mostly CTAs. Like here, there's a CTA, here, there's a CTA, here's another CTA, just a ton of CTAs, because Matt really understands the fact that on his X are people who are already ready to be converted. They just need to be pushed over the edge with a small CTA, with just some kind of push, just that tiny final push. He's already done most of the work on his YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything else. Now he just needs to push them over the edge. But the thing is, he's not completely sticking with CTAs, because that would just be dumb. Nobody would actually go to his X, because that would just sound like he's always trying to sell them something. That's why every once in a while he'll sprinkle in a few middle of funnel posts, and those middle of funnel posts are going to give genuine value to the audience, and they're going to still tune in to his X. For example, here he's covering the importance of a chief of staff, and here's a little clip from a call that he had probably with a client, and he was just explaining how a chief of staff is super important. Now, at this point, a ton of the people on his Twitter have been converted, and that's where Twitter, of course, shines. It's amazing at getting engagement from the audience, keeping old leads warm, and also just generally getting people to convert into actual clients and booked calls. So I'm going to go ahead and now get into the sister of X, which is LinkedIn. As I said before, he was the Iman Gaji of LinkedIn. He has a ton of reach. Nearly everybody on the platform knows exactly who he is. 824,000 followers, and he's a LinkedIn top voice. In the about page, he's just going to tell everybody a little bit about him, add in a few CTAs down here, and then link all of his other social medias. These types of text-based platforms, they're so powerful if you know exactly how to use them right. That's why the LinkedIn is an integral part of what Matt Gray's funnel is. So going into what kind of content that he posts on his LinkedIn, that's going to be the best posts on his X. He's going to go ahead and take those and put them on his LinkedIn. And usually the LinkedIn posts are all middle of funnel. Now, as you remember, a ton of the posts on X were pretty short, and each of them were separate. So there's going to be a separate CTA, there's going to be separate middle of funnel posts. But the thing that LinkedIn does really, really well is that the posts can be such long paragraphs that they're basically entire websites. So he has wrote a ton of copy here, and what he's basically convincing the audience of is that they need systems, and he's giving genuine value away in all of these different posts. And then at the end of the post, he's going to add in a little bit of a CTA. These are kind of the exact same as Facebook ads. So if you're good at Facebook ads, you're going to be good at LinkedIn. And I'm assuming that the moment that Matt starts Facebook ads, he's going to be killing it. So I'm not sure if he will, but that is definitely an avenue he should try out. Now at the bottom, he's just going to list his experience, building a little bit of trust, building a little bit of credibility. And even his LinkedIn can act as a full funnel in itself because he has so many different types of content. He posts top of funnel, he posts middle of funnel, and he posts bottom of funnel. His LinkedIn is basically its own social media that brings a huge amount of traffic into his main funnels. Again, drives a ton of conversion. So this platform is super important to him. Now at this point, no matter what the audience has done, if they've gone to his Instagram, X, LinkedIn, whatever, they're still going to get into the lead magnets. Again, tons of lead magnets on his social medias, especially Instagram with the ManyChat automation, CTAs on his LinkedIn, there's a ton of CTAs on his Twitter, there's a ton of CTAs on his Instagram, and all of those different things are small lead magnets giving a ton of value to the viewer. And along with all of his social medias, he also has his newsletter, and he also emails the people who get into his course, book a call, but then don't actually buy his product. So from here, they're going to get a ton of emails, they're going to get a ton of content, they're going to get a ton of stuff, they're going to get exclusive resources. They're going to love Matt at this point. And this from here, what Matt's going to do in his emails and in his content, he's going to have a lot of CTAs. So they're going to click on one of the links. Now they might want to just dip their toes into his stuff. So they want to check out the Founder OS courses, or they want to get into the actual main Founder OS, or they want to go into the Founder OS Plus where they get even more support. I'm going to break down all of these real quick. When you get into the Founder OS courses page, you're going to see a small little VSL. It's just going to cover the fact that Matt worked super hard on these. You should definitely value them a ton. He spent a ton of time on these. He put in a ton of effort. So the value is going to artificially shoot up in the viewer's mind. Now, what all these are is just small snippets of courses from his main program. So you're going to get all of these things in the program if you buy Founder OS, but you can also get them separately here. And these are just going to be avenues for the people to dip their toes in. This is a really good thing that Matt does, is his value ladder. So they're going to start off with $30 courses. They're going to buy that. They're going to get a ton of value. Then they're going to check out the $150. Then they're going to move on to his $200 personal brand OS. Then they're finally going to move on to the Founder OS Lite. This is just going to keep going and laddering all the way up to his main course, which is the Founder OS Plus. Now, after they've bought the Founder OS Lite, or maybe they haven't and they just want to move straight into the Founder OS, they're going to get onto this page that is going to start off with level up your online business. Get proven systems to help you scale without sacrificing your life. Apply now, helping 170,000 plus founders achieve their goals through proven repeatable systems. He added this specific number, making it way more believable. A super nice little bit of social proof, listing all the brands he's worked with, even more social proof. Stop running your business, build systems that run it for you. A nice headline, get proven systems to grow your audience and brand. Going over the core value propositions here, exactly what you're going to get in the course. The confused prospect does not buy, so they should know exactly what they're going to get in the course, how they're going to get it, why they need it, and how it's going to help them. Join more than 170,000 founders and get access to my 5-part email series where I reveal my exact content GPS framework. So what he's done here is that he's done a little bit of a super specific call to action, the 5-part email series. A ton of people want that. It acts kind of like a lead magnet. At this point, just by him saying all of this and, you know, covering the entire core value proposition, I know that he's trying to sell me. But when you see a specific, tangible, physical thing, even though it is digital, but a specific, tangible thing, then you want it way more. Like, the audience is going to want this 5-part email series much more than just abstract courses or an abstract idea. This is a physical thing that they're actually going to get in the course. And this is something that Matt has done really nicely, and I really love this right here. So definitely implement something like this into your own funnel. What founders are saying, this is all just going to be a ton of social proof. Steve Gatena, Zach Murray, Rob Hoffman. At the end here, we have a no fluff, just real system support and community. Build a business that works for you, not the other way around. Compounding content, scaling templates, execution playbooks, monetization frameworks. Super nice. He's driving up the value. He's for some reason put his introduction right here. I would like for him to put his introduction at the top so that we know him before getting to the website. And then what our founder community is saying. So I don't know why, but this cut off, but there's a ton of social proof right here. Join thousands of ambitious founders, even more social proof, just listing even more brands that he's worked with. Then finally, a little bit of CTA, get the framework. And I like how he's throughout this website, he's added this specific number. Join this many founders and get access to my 5-part series where I reveal my exact content GPS framework. Now, this specific number makes it super believable, first of all, as I said before, but also people are tribal. So humans are a super tribal race. So they want to feel belonging. They want to feel like they fit into the community. So that's why having this huge number makes you want to join. This is kind of like a peer pressure, except for buying his course. Now, after this Founder OS page, and even after they buy Founder OS, maybe they want even more support. Then they're going to check out Founder OS Plus. Now, Founder OS Plus is the big high ticket offer that Matt sells. Beautiful brands are built on beautiful systems, strategic personal branding, one-on-one coaching from Matt, and a custom content funnel. So you get all of this stuff, all of this straight from Matt. So a quick CTA, apply now. So this has basically the same type of template as the other page, but he actually has added in a little bit of a different thing here. So Founder OS Plus is for you if you're a founder aiming to scale beyond your current growth ceiling. You're ready to invest in high-level systems and frameworks. You're committed to consistent implementation and execution. You value personalized guidance from experienced strategists. Super nice. Founder OS is not for you if you're looking for basic business advice or general tips. You're not prepared to invest time and resources into your growth. You prefer one-size-fits-all approach to business scaling. You'd rather do all the work yourself than rely on proven experts. So first of all, he's not really cutting anyone out. Second of all, what this is doing is making the people who genuinely want all of this stuff, like the people who fit this criteria up here, feel super special. They feel like this is specifically made for them. They feel like, oh, I fit all these criteria, so I don't want to waste this opportunity. This seems like it's tailor-made for me, so I want it. Then at the end, there's of course going to be a few FAQs. And that's the end of the page with a few legal stuff and then a last call to action at the end. So same basic stuff as the other page. I really liked this small part right here that he's changed, and that's about it. All right, so at this point, that is the entire sales funnel of Matt Gray. He makes over $1 million a month off of the sales funnel, and there's a ton of stuff that a ton of coaches and consultants can implement. But the thing is that a lot of the stuff that I've told you in this video sometimes does not work for people because sales funnels are super variable. It depends on your product, it depends on what you're selling, it depends on what kind of brand you have. So the stuff that I told you in this video might not work for your brand. Some of the little tips that I gave you might not work for your product. Some of these small little social media tweaks that I told you about might actually make your social media worse. That's why I'm here. If you want a full funnel audit from me, go ahead and book a call down below, and I'll give you it for completely free. My links are down below. Go ahead and check it out. If you don't want to do that, still go ahead and check the same link down below, because then you can go ahead and copy my landing page and my VSL for your own coaching and consulting business. And if you don't want to do any of that, then go ahead and click on this video right here, because YouTube thinks that you'll probably like it. Peace.